Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway's Roval for the first race in the round of 8 for the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series live here on All-Star 15 TV. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow. We have a very eventful and fun race for you this evening. Drivers are currently in their cars. Engines have been fired. Well, let's bring in the other broadcaster for these Wednesday nights here for the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series, the one and only Mike Campiggio.
AJ, how are you doing? How was your holidays? How was everybody's holidays at home, watching at home? Let us know in the comments below. But AJ, we're back to the grind. The round of 8's kicking off on the road course, so it should be very interesting tonight.
It's very much kicking off with a bang, throwing people right into the fire, and somebody who is able to walk right through the fire or drive right through the fire is our pole sitter, the driver of the number 09. It's Bryce Senezak. See if we can get a quick word with him. Hey, Bryce, it's AJ and Mike in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Boy, Bryce, you starting there on the pole to kick off the round of 8. Talk to me about your qualifying lap and talk to me what your expectations are for the night ahead.
Yeah, qualifying, I guess I adjusted a bit off. I didn't expect the track time to go back up like it did, so it wasn't as fast as I'd hoped, but it was enough to get the pole. But gonna try and, of course, win this one. We got Rambler in the race though, and we all know how good he is. So if not first, hopefully a second. But we're gonna do our best to win this thing.
Yeah, for sure. I know Scott's going to be one of the guys to beat tonight, but you look pretty quick there in practice yourself tonight. So we're going to wish you the best of luck tonight, and hopefully we'll get to interview you either at the end of the first stage or possibly at the end of the race.
All right, thank you. Looking forward to it.
All right, that was the driver of the 09-hour pole sitter, Bryce Senezak. Mike, let's run down our starting lineup for tonight's race. Pull that up. There it is. Bryce Senezak, and then Alan Fox. You have Joe Torres, Josh Vidal in row 2. Row 3, Daniel Krim and Michael Thwaites. Row 4, it's Kyle Zimmer and Paul Irvin. In row 5, rounding out that top 10, it's Connor Coleman and Scott Rambler. In the 6th row, you have Kyle Miller and Joshua Gillen, and shotgun on the field, it's Nate Orlowski. Mike, who'd you pick?
Well, AJ, I went with Josh Vidal. Josh Vidal entering here tonight, number 8 on the playoff grid. So I'm thinking Josh is going to have a really solid points night and possibly a win because he's really good on road courses. So that's who I'm going with to kick off the round of 8. What about you, AJ?
I took, surprisingly, our pole sitter. We picked this just as practice was going on. And surprise, surprise, Bryce Senezak with the pole. But there's our points going into tonight's race. Joe Torres, who qualified P3, about 5 points above the cut line. Bryce Senezak, just about 2 over the cut line. Michael Thwaites +2 in 3rd. And then Alan Fox right there on that cut line, tied with Kyle Zimmer. That's 4th and 5th. In 6th, you have Paul Irvin, Kyle Miller in 7th, and Josh Vidal in 8th. It's always nice when we start these new rounds where it is up for grabs for anybody, Mike.
It is, AJ, and I'm looking forward to a very great race tonight. These Xfinity cars on the Roval always put on a really good show, so I'm looking for a good show tonight. I think it's going to be a little bit chaotic here once we get the green flag until we settle into a rhythm.
It's going to be very chaotic, and last night, if you didn't tune in, this backstretch chicane was the chaos point on exit. We had multiple drivers clip these turtles or clip the tire barrier and just end their night completely. All right, here we go. The drivers in red on the tower. Those are your playoff drivers. All 8 of them in tonight's race. Here we go once again, utilizing that iRacing official pace car, the Porsche version, you know, because it's a road course.
Got to get the road course representation, but we're going to have a quick little stint to the end of stage 1, which is on lap 17 tonight here.
Well, you say quick, that's still about 20 plus minutes away. But here we go. Green flag in the air, and we are a go.
Oh, Alan Fox turned around. Wow, okay.
And that's how tonight's race is going to start. Outside pole sitter immediately back to 12th place.
I think you got a little help there from Joe Torres.
Oh, let's take a look. Joe Torres in the 29. That was some netcode, too.
Oh, Alan did say earlier today that he was, didn't think he was the biggest fan of road courses, so...
Kyle Miller has left his pit box. He started from pit lane. Sorry, Mike, to cut you off, but
you're good.
He's starting behind the 8 ball already.
A lot of these guys here, I mean, get that little stage caution at 17, you know, and just kind of do what you can. I know it's going to be hard to get stage points, but just do what you can to do what you can to put yourself in position for that second half.
Absolutely, Mike, and on board with the 28 of Josh Vidal, as already a second and a half behind Bryce Senizak.
Yeah, Bryce got a really good jump. I know everybody else behind him was kind of watching the chaos there with Alan Fox, but he took off right away.
Now, Mike, take us around this course. Completely different than any other Roval or road course we have on the schedule, or even that NASCAR runs. Very much a bunch of off-camber turns, especially that one right there. But take us around here, pal.
Yeah, so we're going through the infield section right here. We're still running the older version of the Roval, I believe.
Have they updated it?
No, they have not updated yet. We're still running the old version. But this infield section, you think it looks flat and everything, but it's not. It's so many elevation changes, and especially the one corner there is really blind. You kind of go up and over down a hill, so it's very blind on you, and it's very technical. The end part of this racetrack is very technical, and that chicane in the back straightaway, you got to make sure you get on your brakes really good, because you know you can send it in there too hard like we saw last night, and those little turtles and those little tire barriers want to come out and grab you and bite you.
And then there's the battle right there. Rambler plus 5 positions from the start. You see the 48 of Paul Irvin just letting him go.
Scott's a wheel man. He's a wheel man when it comes to road courses. So, no, he started toward the back of this field, but he's making his way up toward that front.
I'm just gonna say it. Scott started where he started, so he could actually pass cars.
You said the quiet part out loud.
But that's not to discount Senizak, Vidal, or even Thwaites.
No, of course not.
They're running times those last couple laps before better than the 8. So the thing is, Scott can be as good of a road course racer as we know he is, but he's still got to make passes on cars that might not give him the lane, and he's not in the playoffs. These drivers are fighting for their playoff lives.
Yeah, it's that time of the season where, you know, you got a guy that's, you know, a non-playoff guy that's just coming here to race well and try to win a race, and it's like, well, I got my whole season on the line here. It's like, maybe early in your season I'd give you a little bit of a break, but it's like, I'm not going to, like, roll over for you. Every position matters towards a point.
Now, just as we are 4 laps into tonight's race, let's give you some of the background of tonight's race. 50 laps, it's 114 miles with the stage at lap 17. 5 sets of tires in the pit. We saw drivers, unless they were involved in an accident last night, only use those tires on...
Oh, Nate Orlowski, sorry, AJ. Didn't mean to cut you off, but Nate Orlowski has spun in between turn 1 and turn 2.
Ooh, and there's heavy damage on the nose. I love the old HSR logo on the back of the car.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a big hit right there.
Try to get a better look at it for everybody at home.
Yeah, just too hard onto the gas. Too hard onto the gas right there. And you're going over that area there. It's not bumpy, but it's very windy. And it's kind of blind. So.
But back to what I was saying before the 99 went around. They only took tires on the stage caution for the most part, unless they spun out or got into a wreck. But they have 5 sets if they need them. You're going to get a fuel run about 20 to 25 laps. Shout out to our stage or our cautions here on All-Star 15 TV, brought to you by Elite Entertainment. And then later on, you'll see that our white flag is brought to you by the Wrestling with Nerds podcast.
Very important to get the shout-outs to the very important sponsors for the channel.
Yeah, especially with the caution one when we're guaranteed just the one. We're glad to have you all with us. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow. This is going to be a very fun and eventful race, as Senezak already almost 6 seconds ahead of Josh Vidal in second, and about 3/10 back you have Joe Torres, and from Joe Torres to half a second to Scott Ramler. Anybody else hear the Jaws theme coming from the 8?
Oh, it sounds like it, AJ. It sounds like it.
And look at Torres using a different line to try to get a run.
Ooh, wow. A little close for contact right there.
I think there was contact there. In the cockpit of the 8 of Ramler. And you can tell Ramler's for the most part being patient here, gonna try to force an issue with the 29 and then the 26. But just so smooth.
As they would say for Carlos Sainz, he's a smooth operator.
Oh boy!
Oh, wow. Made contact again right there.
Here we go. Watch that.
Oh, Torres hit the wall.
I think Torres might have been mirror driving there.
Maybe just a little bit. Maybe trying to hustle that thing a little bit quicker to stay ahead of Scott Ramler. But that's some good size, a little bit of damage right there in that 8, that front corner panel there.
Yeah, and Daniel Krim doing a really good job celebrating their birthday last night with racing, I think, to a second place? Was it second place? I'm gonna have to go back and look.
I'm doing that for you right now. I'm just taking a look at
Appreciate you,
myself. Give me 1 second while I'm looking this up.
But from second all the way to about 7th place, just about 3.5 seconds separating everybody. As Ramler just moved into second place.
Yeah, Krim got a second place finish last night.
Heck yeah, that's a hell of a showing for your birthday.
That is. That's for darn sure right there. And he's another one. He's very underrated when it comes to road course racing.
Alan Fox, after that, coming out of the final turn, once the green flag was thrown, before we even hit lap 1, he's fallen all the way back to 12th place, fighting to 9th right now.
He's in a good spot to get some stage points, which is a good little rebound there after that lap 1, turn 1, not even turn 1, lap 1 start finish line spin.
Yeah, but honestly, with that, he started P2. This is gonna hurt.
It is. Yes, it will hurt, but I think right now is to get as much stage points as he can, and then reset yourself, game plan yourself for that restart, which will be the last one of the day at the end of the stage. You know he's going to be aggressive on that restart, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, 100%. We might even see some strategy from the 73. Maybe just fuel on that pit stop for track position.
That would be a gamble. See, Torres is looking all over the back bumper there for Vidal.
And Torres is kicking out all over the place. Like he's ripping the e-brake to try to help the car spin.
He's been... It seems like he doesn't have the confidence in the machine that he wants so far tonight, especially hitting that wall a couple laps ago there. Tell you though, when they hit those turtles, man, those things hop off the ground.
Yeah, they get airborne.
Just ask Alex Bowman about that.
As we're already 9 laps into tonight's race, Mike, moving by pretty fast.
We got a big old battle here for third, and Thwaites has now joined this battle and trying to see who's gonna prevail. We got Gilly in the lap car there giving way. Good to see. I mean, you could even throw about 4 or 5 of these guys under the blanket because you got Krim coming up behind him, and so is Irvin. So we could have a 4-car battle here for third.
Yeah, this is wild for third place to have so many cars within a half a second to a second of each other. Is gonna make getting to the stage very interesting. And I'm curious, Mike. You're not gonna lose a lap if you're one of these drivers that hits pit road before the stage, but do you possibly, before we get 2 to go, jump on pit road, grab your service, and stay out?
You know, AJ, that is a very good question, and I would think some of these guys may do that because if you've seen any of the real life races here at the Roval, ooh, my goodness, I just saw that on your screen there. But I would think we'd have somebody try to gamble. So we're looking at you. Ooh, hello. Yeehaw.
Need that Mario jump sound for that.
That's very violent on the suspension in these cars, and especially on the driver inside.
Yeah, you ain't kidding about that. And with the damage he already has, Mike, can that do even more to the car? At least in the sim, do they have that kind of stuff underneath the car that can get up?
You know, AJ, my answer would want to be say yes on this, but with iRacing and all the new damage models and everything, it's hard to tell. But I would say yes, just because normally that's how it is in real life racing. You damage the side skirts or the valences or the splitters on these things, and yeah, it can get a handful.
It definitely looked like it got a handful. And you can see he is pushing it as hard as he can. And that's the eNASCAR Rambler. Already chewed up about 3 seconds to Bryce Senezak.
Oh, Michael Thwaites just went over those turtles. Oh, my goodness.
Looked like he shot right up the racetrack with that. We'll go back to the viewers at home.
The way you attack the chicane back here, it reminds me a lot of attacking the backstretch chicane at Daytona minus the grass. Oh, even Krim went up and at him right there.
Krim followed him.
Which is easy to do because you're following the guy in front of you just to see, like, all right, how is he attacking this thing? How can I gain a little bit of time on him? So it's like, it's easy to do the monkey see, monkey do factor.
Now, with just a couple races in the XMS season left, oh boy! 29 just continuing the Tokyo drifting around.
I think Joe Torres is going to be probably one of those guys where he may just say, I'm going to come 3 laps early or 4 laps early to get my service done.
Well, they can make it to the stage.
Mm-hmm.
But he might be struggling to make it to the stage.
He looks like he's driving with his tongue hanging out. That's what it looks like to me.
Now, good news for everybody that enjoys watching the XMS either RICMOTECH Xfinity, Truck, Cup, A-Car, ARCA, whatever they plan to do for next season, because talking to Ed Morris, we have signed for a series next season, and my wonderful broadcast partner that I have every Wednesday is going to
Josh Vidal got turned! I'm sorry, AJ. I know you're trying to break some news there, but Joe Torres just sent Josh Vidal.
And with how Joe Torres' car has been handling, that was bound to happen. Here's a view from Josh Vidal.
Well, at least Josh Vidal's not getting the message that he got last night, where it's a too much damage, you're done.
Oh, absolutely. And just way overcooked it, the 29 did. And I wouldn't be surprised, just like last night, we see an incident similar to this if the 29 gets a pass-through penalty.
Yep, I could see that coming. Race Control said that they are looking at it right now, so we will get notification here shortly. Anyway, back to the news you were talking about.
Yeah, we are signed for a series next season for the XMS group. You and I both gonna enjoy our fun, whether that's on Tuesday or Wednesday nights. We'll know soon, but you and I can continue to have fun here.
Yes. Super glad and excited to hear that you guys signed a deal to broadcast the series next year. And I'm glad that the bosses up at All-Star 15 and myself could come to a contract deal for next year. Looking forward to it, AJ. Keeping the chemistry going.
And there is the gap now for the lead. Rambler under a second of Bryce Senezak.
While you were watching,
took 13 laps.
And while you were watching that, it was official from Race Control. Joe Torres pass-through penalty for that
There
contact.
it is. And while we are promoting stuff happening on the channel like we always do, next week we have the 24 Hours of Daytona race for the Hutchport Racing and Phantom Power Racing. They're working together. They're going to put on 2 vehicles. We're going to be showing both of them. It's going to be about 8 hours of the 24-hour race with updates throughout the rest of the time that we're not live. You're also going to get updates from Warrior Enterprise on the channel and how they're doing. So we have a lot of Daytona 24 here on the channel, whether it's visually or via posts on our social medias. And Mike, good luck to you guys over there.
Yes, sir. We're looking forward to running next weekend our two-team effort in the LMP2 division. I think it's going to be a good show. And hopefully everybody on the HSR side and Phantom Power Racing has a great effort as well.
And before we hit the last couple laps in the stage, coming this March to the channel, the Gulf Coast IndyCar Series. First time we're going to have IndyCar via a league on the channel. Excited about that. Never did open wheel like that on the channel. I know we had F3 for a while, or whatever those were. I'm very excited to actually have an IndyCar Long Beach and all that wonderful stuff on the channel later on in the year.
Yeah, I will be racing in that series come March, which will be fun. Always fun to do an IndyCar league.
And that's all the news for All-Star 15 TV, everybody. A lot still happened on the channel, and we get to keep XMS, so very happy about that. And then the 8-car series starting back up the day after the Daytona 500.
Good stuff. Good stuff ahead. A lot of exciting things to kick off 2025. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely stay tuned, as there is the battle. Bryce Senezak in the 09 and the 8 of Scott Rambler. Rambler looking for spots to make a pass, and he's very much pressuring the 09 without even coming close to him. As Gillen had an issue.
No, Gillen had an issue, and why we're going to look at that. Pit road has closed, and nobody did pit, AJ, so we're all going to be coming down pit road at the end of the stage.
Oh, going into the backstretch chicane.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. That's race over right there, my goodness.
We're going to get one more view of that, this time from the cockpit of the number 1. Oh, yeah, he knew right away.
Yeah, he fully sent that. That's for sure. Good thing the leader wasn't coming up behind that, because that could have been really bad. Did you see that?
About Ryan?
Yeah. Yes, I just saw that myself. Next time on the podcast, okay, maybe you'll get that out of me.
At least you guys shared Notre Dame together.
Yes, we do. Oh, and AJ, we had Kyle Miller manually disconnected.
Really?
According to my screen, he manually.
Oh, there he goes. He's dropping.
First playoff driver of the night in trouble.
White flag on the stage as well. Does Scott Ramler make it by the 09? Just a couple turns left to go and 2 chicanes.
He got a good run out of the backstretch chicane there.
Senizek got a really good run out of that chicane. And I think Rambler just conceded it to the 09.
Yeah, he's not going to force it now with playoffs on the line.
There it is, Bryce Senizek, your stage winner. Now that's going to continue until they end up calling it, and P10 is almost a full minute back. As here comes Krim and Thwaites, that's for 3rd and 4th. Paul Irvin on an island of himself in 5th. Vidal now back to 6th after being spun by Torres. Alan Fox now crossing the line. Coleman crossing the line for 8th. 9th for Joe Torres. And through 3 and 4, there's P10. Right there, it's Kyle Zimmer in the 25. This is right here when the caution should get pulled.
There it is. Caution is out.
When that got called, they were already in 3. And our one and only caution flag on the track tonight, brought to you by Elite Entertainment. Thank you to Adam Caps and the boys at Elite Entertainment for being the caution flag sponsor on the channel. They're going to catch the pace car, and we're going to step away. We'll talk to Bryce Senizek when we return.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
RICMOTECH high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go. RICMOTECH.com. RICMOTECH high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go. RICMOTECH.com.
And we are back, everyone, here on the channel. It is time to talk to our stage winner, the driver of the 09, Bryce Senizak. I figured we were going to talk to you again tonight. How was it out there? Was it getting kind of hairy towards the end of it with Rambler right behind you?
For sure. I was really struggling towards the end of it. I was making a few mistakes, especially through the bus stop, and just let Rambler get close. But I kind of just tried to focus forward there the last 3 laps, pretend he wasn't behind me, and I knew if I didn't mess up any corners, just hit my marks, then there was no way he was going to pass me. So,
dude, you're doing everything you need to for your playoff hopes. So far, you've led every lap. You've won the stage. What's the game plan now that we have just about 30 laps to go?
Kind of just think about how I'm going to strategize this last stage as far as feel and everything. So I think Rambler said he had a bit of damage from earlier, so he's back there. He's going to have to do everything all over again, but he's going to have more time to do it. So just a wait and see kind of thing.
All right, pal. Well, good luck the rest of the way. Have fun, and the way it's going, it looks like we might be talking to you in about 30 laps.
Yeah, Bill.
Try not
to make that happens. Yeah.
See you later, pal.
All right, see ya.
All right, Mike. What are you expecting for this final stage? As it looks like the 48 and Rambler both hitting pit road again to top off.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting right there that they're going to top off with fuel. But, you know, maybe they're planning for something a little bit more going longer at this stage here. But, yeah, AJ, so far, this road course race has been very entertaining for the folks at home, and especially for us in the booth. There's been a lot of action so far, which coincides with what we saw last night, too. But, yeah, a lot of these guys here resetting ourselves, bunched up again with each other. Big restart here with 30 laps to go. And if you can get that clean air, you're going to be king, I think.
Someone who, in that first stage, gets a penalty, takes a pass-through, and is sitting 7th right now. Joe Torres having that issue getting into Josh Vidal. Doesn't go a lap down because it's a road course. You know, it just shows if you make a mistake before the stage on road courses, you're still in the race as long as you keep your head clean. And it looked like those last 10 or so laps, or those last 5 laps before he hit hit pit road for the penalty and then the stage, he was fighting like heck. Like, he burned off the Goodyear Eagles. It's good to see that everybody, for the most part, is still on the lead lap. So it's still anybody's ball game. But Mike, I'm excited. Senna Zach right now, it's class of the field. But Daniel Krim popping in second. He's +3. Then Vidal, he's back in third. Wait, in fourth. Your top 6 drivers are all plus position drivers.
And if I'm Joe Torres, you know that you're gonna be going about 20 more laps than you did before. So you gotta take care of those tires a little bit here.
Yeah, they are going to probably try to split this stage right in half. I would assume 15 and 15, or 16 and 16. But lights are off in the iRacing official pace car. And I wonder if we're going to see another incident, maybe a spin, or some contact between drivers like we saw at the start of the race with Alan Fox, who is still in that 11th position after qualifying second.
Well, Alan Fox is going to have a front row seat this time for that, if that happens.
Here we go. Ding, 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 ding. There it is, green flag in the air. So far, so good. Nate Arlovsky's just going to pull over.
Yeah, he said that before the restart. He was going to pull over and let those guys go, since he still has a little bit of damage. But we're clean through 1 and clean through 2.
No incidents to do a heartburn turn.
I mean, I get why Rick Allen did it, and I know Charlotte Motor Speedway called that, but it was kind of cringy, not going to lie.
What, calling it a heartburn turn?
Yes.
Hey, now it's sponsored by Tums.
It is sponsored by Tums. Senzak just continues to just clean out and head out front.
Oh yeah, that gap is growing already to 7/10.
He knows he needs to get as far out in front as possible to get rid of having Ramla have a shot at this. Woo! Zimmer to the inside.
Krim hits the turtle and almost loses it.
Zimmer was able to pass the weights there.
Jump back and take a look at it. Gonna stay to the inside, the 25 does, and really good run out of the backstretch chicane and grabs.
Now Torres is trying to get on the rates in turn 1, can't get it done. Now Rambler is going to go to the outside. He's going to let him go.
Oh, Vidal's in the wall.
Yeah, Torres is loose out of that corner. So is Irvin. That back end was sketchy on that 48 machine too. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Joe Torres about to spun it there. I thought he was going to spin it.
There goes Scott Rambler right here, moving up another position. Thought that was going to be closer to Torres almost spinning because it didn't populate as a spin.
Now Rambler got to the inside of the weights.
But looking at the field right now, Krim, Vidal, Zimmer, Rambler, and Thwaites all within a second and a half of each other.
Rambler got another one past Zimmer. Now Thwaites is trying to go back at Zimmer.
Jesus.
Gets that done.
Thwaites is another one that I think by the end of the race tonight, if he could just keep it on the racetrack, might end up with a top 5, if not further up. Right now, he's in that 5th
Paul
spot.
Irvin.
And
Sorry,
Paul
AJ
Irvin
Paul.
goes around.
I think Alan Fox gave him a little bit of contact there. We'll take a look at it here. Well, that looked like netcode. Well, let me see another angle on that.
That's 70.
See if that's neck code or there's contact here.
Oh, no, that was contact.
Yeah, that was contact.
That might be a passer on the 73. We're going to have to wait for race control to call that out.
He gave him the old bump and run and see ya.
I don't think it was on purpose. I think it was just
No,
how
I
the
know.
angles were going into that.
Yeah, and that turn right there is very tricky, especially when you have somebody on your outside there. It's very easy to misjudge somebody. Could have said he gave him the boot, scoot, and boogie right there. I don't know what I was going to say something earlier. Zimmer dropped so many positions there within a half a lap. I was like, I don't know if something happened to him or what, but he fell off like a rock.
Okay, he is back to 7th right now. And looking at the scoring tower on the left side of your screen, Mike, you have Senizak in first, then Krim, Ramler, non-playoff drivers, Vidal, Torres, Waits, Zimmer, then Coleman, not a playoff driver, Fox, Orlowski, not a playoff driver, and then Paul Irvin and Kyle Miller out of tonight's.
Well, you know what that's going to mean for Kyle Miller next week. He's going to have to be a must-win contender to advance.
Two good friends battling side by side, NASCAR 3 and 4. And Krem is just gonna just tap the brake ever so slightly. Only 2 drivers in the race have put down a 117 lap time. Bryce Senizak with a 117.88. And then Scott Ramler with a 117.68. Everybody else is a good chunk over a lap 118 time. Very crazy to think about.
And Alan Fox, drive-through penalty for contact with that 48.
Saw that come in. They're staying consistent with what they gave the 29 before the stage.
At least they're being consistent, unlike what NASCAR does sometimes.
I was just thinking that exact same thing.
Just asked Parker Kligerman at this racetrack in October.
All right, well, Mike, we have plenty of sponsors here on the channel. Their links are in the description, but one of them I got to talk to you about. What do you guys have planned for the podcast, the All-Star Sports Report?
Well, AJ, we got a good amount planned. We're going to go over the college football playoff games, which are tomorrow and Friday night. We're going to preview NFL. Oh, Krim hit the wall. I will finish that thought in a second. Krim is in the wall.
Very slow.
Why don't we show the folks at home what happened?
I do it the old-fashioned way.
He goes down here into turn 1.
Oh, he's wheel hopping.
Oh, yeah, he got the curb, and that launched him into the wall right there.
A lot of damage on that 47 on the right side.
But yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, we're going to go over the college football things from Thursday and Friday, the playoffs, and preview probably the national title game, too, because that will be coming up in about a week and a half. NFL Super Wild Card Weekend, NFL coaching news that are going on, since there's a lot of teams looking for coaches, and we'll touch over everything else in the sports world that's going on, from your college basketball to your hockey, your basketball. We'll touch some motorsports action. Probably preview a little bit of our Rolex 24 effort for Warrior Enterprises, because I don't think we're going to have a podcast per se going into the weekend of the iRacing Rolex 24.
Beautiful pass for Josh Vidal coming out
that
of
was
the
very
final
well.
chicane. Granted,
That was
it
very
took
well
the
done.
29 to have a curbing issue.
Woo.
But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited to listen to it. It's live every Friday night, right around 11.
We're going to go live a little bit earlier this week. We're going to go live after the Cotton Bowl on Friday.
Okay. Who's in the Cotton Bowl again this week?
Ohio State and Texas.
Oh boy. There's the battle for your race. I feel like we're just resuming what we had at the end of stage 1.
It was so nice the first time. Let's do it again.
And right there, Joe Torres and Josh Vidal pretty close together heading into the backstretch chicane.
Oh, Torres, he sent that in there that time.
Friends just trying to get some positions back too after smacking the wall and turn.
And a very important comment that Ryan Fry just made. There's 2 new TikToks that just dropped on the Wrestling with Nerds page on their TikTok page, so please go tune in and check those out.
Yes.
Make sure to check in with the podcast. I assume you guys will be talking about the Netflix debut.
We got a
coming
lot
up
to talk about on the Wrestling with Nerds podcast as Coleman issue turn 1. Coleman, big issue, turn 1.
Oh, did he do the same thing as Krem? Let's take a look.
No.
Yep, got the curb.
Not as big as a hit, but he's already got damage on that right side.
Yeah, not as big as a hit that time, but still, hard hit.
That time. But yeah, we have a huge show on Sunday. We're going to talk about Raw going to Netflix. That episode, first episode. Probably going to talk about New Year's Evil as well. And then we are playing GM mode. TJ, Ryan, and myself. All American promotions, all wrestlers are in a draft that we're going to pull from. 10 rounds of you get a male, a female, and a tag team.
Ooh, there you go. I assume you guys will be talking about the tease that they had on WWE 2K25. It's been going around.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Some of the screenshots they showed, it looks real, and games are really starting to push the uncanny valley. Rambler, this is how he made the pass.
That was road course passing right there.
He
Clean,
said, bye-bye.
Clean and concise, and kept on going.
Now that gap is up to 2 seconds. Back here, once again, Vidal and Torres can't get away from each other. They're bringing in the 12 of Michael Thwaites as well, and Krim not that far behind either. This is going to be one heck of a battle between the 4 of these drivers in just a matter of a lap or 2. As Thwaites has to pull to the inside.
Woo! He locked up the front tires, too, on that one.
That's going to kill all the momentum the 12 had. Now he's got to worry about the 47 going into turn 1, as Daniel Krim's going to think better of it. I think that was a little bit of a wait, get your bearings back, get going again. I don't want to cause a wreck. Because it does take a second or two after making a mistake to get going again.
I just remember the real life race that they raced here in the middle of a hurricane that one year. My goodness, just imagine if we had that going on right now at this racetrack. Woo!
Multiple battles across the racetrack. We showed Vidal, Torres, Thwaites, and Krim, but you also have Coleman and Zimmer within a half a second of each other.
Oh, sorry, Josh about lost it there. He's on the apron, came back up. They both hit the turtles, and woo! I thought it was race over right there.
Taking a look here. This is from Joe Torres with Josh Vidal right in front of him. If they both hit two different curves. Ooh, Scott Rambler had initiative.
Oh, I have to take this. Take a look at that.
Scott Rambler went off track.
Oh. Oh my goodness, he fully spot. Oh, that's, yeah. Wow, that's a big moment right there.
We saw it earlier where it almost happened, where he clipped the curb and it almost sent him. He was able to correct it back then, but now, big mistake, loses the lead, and that gap is right around 2.5 seconds.
I'm curious to see, AJ, who's going to be the first one to pit here? Who's going to be the first one to break this up?
That's a very good question. Like, you got to think you're going to want to at least split the stage in half. So that would probably be around 16, 17 laps to go. Or you're just going to, if you're Senezek or Rambler, I think you're just going as long as possible because you are so far ahead of the rest of the field where you couldn't take the extra couple seconds on pit road to pack everything and grab 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles, while I think some of these drivers are just going to take fuel.
First time I heard this tonight, a couple of the drivers were talking about Nader Olowski's dealing with a very loose race car, and Scott Rambler, who's running P2, is dealing with a very tight race car. So first time tonight I've kind of heard drivers talk about how the handling of these machines are around the Roval.
I think a lot of it has to do with how you drive.
Mm-hmm.
As Rambler's back under a 0.7 of a second, see that gap growing between 3 and 4. You're looking at the 6 of it all. Joe Torres into third. You have Daniel Krim in 5th. Connor Coleman in 6th. 7th, it's Kyle Zimmer. 8th, Paul Irvin. Alan Fox in 9th. And Nader Olowski in 10th. But battle right here. This is for 8th place. As Alan Fox and Paul Irvin were just having a nice quick battle. There you go. There's the gap for the leaders.
Oh, Zimmer. Sorry, Zimmer is around in turn number 3, I believe. 3 or 4. He about hit. He about hit his teammate too.
You sure he didn't? Or
Yeah,
he
hit
just
his...
lock it up so he didn't hit him.
I think he did. I think he got him in the back bumper, and that's what. I think he tried to stay off his back bumper.
Oh,
yeah, he still got him. Yeah, he got him. Spun himself, but could have been 2 for 1 there for Spartan Enterprises. Not Spartan, Spartan Esports, I should say. My goodness, I combined the names right there.
No damage for either one of them, so at least they both get to keep going. No harm, no foul. But we should see pit stops momentarily.
And this is Ramblers all over the bumper. Sunsack for the lead here.
All I can hear is Tony Stewart saying, "Here, kitty, kitty." Pretty sure that was Stewart.
I was. It was at the Brickyard, I believe, in 1 year. I think it was 07, I believe, if my memory serves right. Somebody can fact check me in the comments if they want to. It seems like that 8 can just turn under somebody so much easier.
Yeah.
He's got a big run.
This is going to be a fun backstretch. I think Senezek got through it just a little bit better.
Yeah, but Scott's coming back now. Will he make a move going into the front stretch chicane?
looking. He's looking. It all just went off track. He just sends it. Grim knew his inside, and here he goes.
For as well as Vidal's been running tonight.
Vidal just hit pit road. He's first taker.
Yep, he's the first one to cut this in half. But for as much as he's been running up front tonight, man, he's had a lot of stuff happen to him.
Well,
a lot of adversity.
It's been a very eventful race for him. He's definitely had to stay busy.
All right, Ramler got a really good run right there.
Yeah, to the outside. He's going to have the inside for the final chicane. And here comes the 09 down pit road for service.
Gonna try the undercut. See if this move will work. See if he can get it back ahead of Scott before Scott pits. Or after Scott pits. Oh, Zimmer's around in the grass. Out of the bus stop. He's on the NBC Sports sign.
Oh, now he's got some front end damage. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, hopped it again. That's what you and I talked about in our pre-race discussion tonight. That backstretch chicane was going to be the whopper.
Something that we've heard many times here on the channel, especially with this road course racing. If you can keep the car on the racetrack, you're gonna have a good finish, whether you're fast or not.
Yeah, that's a lot of front end damage on a 25.
Yep, as Krim and Coleman on pit road as we speak, as Krim is just coming off pit road.
Oh, they made contact and Zimmer's around. Oh, he saved it. Wow.
Holy cow.
I thought he was fully going around there, but at that pit road exit right there, man, you got to be very careful. See, he's coming here. He's coming here. Probably spotter's telling him outside, and then boom. That pit road is a very blind spot. That's why your spotter's got to be very key on your radio.
Let's see it from the point of view of Krim this time. Yeah, you never even saw.
Yeah, I don't think he had no idea. He had no idea until he all of a sudden felt something on this right side door.
Ramler and Fox now on pit road. Joe Torres, your race leader.
Let's see the blend line here for Senzak and Ramler. Here they come. They're going to blend right together. Now Scott's got cold tires. Senzak's tires are up to temperature. Can he get ahead of that 8?
That's how close it is right now.
He needs to... Scott's doing a really good job in these cold tires to get a gap between them.
$14 laps to go. Joe Torres hitting pit road now. The only driver left to come down pit road is the 48 of Paul Irvin. Currently running in that 4th spot. Will drop all the way back to about 10th when he hits pit road.
Yeah, Ramler's got a big enough lead here now. Coming to 13 to go.
Yeah,
the tires are up to temperature, and I think he's going to be setting sail here.
Now we're just over 10 laps to go. Mike, this race has gone by relatively fast, but it's had a lot of chaos between multiple drivers.
It has, AJ, that's for sure. And I think it goes off the theme that we saw last night in the truck race that you and Gary did on the channel. Kind of very similar. But look, next week, got a big week for XMS. 2 elimination races in the playoffs to find out who's going to make the Final Four. And we're going to go to the Irish Hills in Michigan there, AJ, next week.
Yeah, I love that place. I like Auto Club a little bit more, but Michigan always puts on a great race. And with the trucks on Tuesday, that's going to be a glorified draft palooza. And the Xfinity cars, there's going to be a lot of draft with these too, but I don't think you'll be able to hold it completely wide open like you're going to with the trucks.
AJ, you better get ready to bundle your winter gear because we're going to be cold up there next week when we're up there.
Don't tell me that.
Just bring your snow gear.
There's no like 20, 30 mile an hour winds like I'm currently getting in Connecticut.
We're gonna get a little bit. They're gonna get a little bit of snow up there before we get up there on Wednesday next week. So
reminds me of Martinsville a couple of years ago with the snow still on the racetrack.
Yep. If you know a hot cocoa place, let me know.
It's called I Make It My Own. Rambler just continuing to pull away. That gap is up. Holy cow. Over 5 seconds. Holy cow. Last time by, got Rambler a fastest lap of the race, a 1:16.64.
Yeah, he just dropped the pin from a hand grenade and said, "All right, time to kick ass.
Time to go." The second fastest lap of the race, a 1:17.88. That's crazy. Well, since we are just over 10 laps to go, we're going to take our final commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit XTREMESCORING.info today.
RICMOTECH high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We're back, everybody. 8 to go. Here is the battle for the last interview spot. The 29 of Joe Torres, the 47 of Daniel Krim, separated by just a couple car lengths. Mike, what have you thought about the race so far tonight?
AJ, it's been very entertaining for a road course race. Very entertaining. These guys are putting on a great show for everybody here at the Charlotte Roval, and we're coming up to, I think, a fantastic finish here for P3.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Just a little while ago, we had all four of these drivers, Torres, Krim, Thwaites, and Vidal, under a blanket. That has kind of subsided as the 29 of Torres is starting to really put a couple laps together, good laps together. But just a quick rundown of the top 10 as we're closing it out so far. You have Scott Ramler right there on your screen. He's currently leading by 13.5 seconds. Bryce Senezak in second over Joe Torres in third. Daniel Krim sitting in that fourth position. Michael Thwaites in fifth. Josh Vidal in that sixth spot. Seventh, it's the 73 of Alan Fox. Paul Irvin in eighth. Ninth brings you to Connor Coleman, rounding out the top 10 plus 3 spots from where he started tonight's race. It's the 69 of Nate Orlowski. Mike, when you get these road course races, you're obviously racing other drivers, but for the most part, you're attacking the racetrack, correct?
You are. You're attacking the racetrack, and you're attacking how you drive it. That's for sure. As Vidal is in the grass, and back on track now. But he was in the grass there. I think the same corner that he went off earlier. But yeah, you're attacking how you race this racetrack, and attacking the elevation changes. You're watching how you brake and how much you use your brakes, and how quick you get back into the gas, because it's very easy to make a mistake on a road course.
Yep. Yeah, it's not like a normal racetrack where you only got that 4 corners of where you can make a mistake. Here you have, what, 13 turns? 14 turns?
Mm-hmm.
And each one of them completely different from the other, and it brings you another opportunity to either hit the apex or completely mess up the turn.
Oh, Ramler smacked the wall as he was trying to pass Zimmer. A little bit of contact there. Nothing too much to scrape the right side of that machine. But yeah, he's up to about 16-second lead. He has dropped the hammer and pulled away.
Yeah, he basically made it a no contest. Oh, it's 25. Clips the turtle and completely airborne.
We are down to our final 5 laps.
Scared to watch what somebody can do in a stock car around a road course.
Oh!
Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, Jesus, Nate.
Oh,
Zimmer too.
yeah, Zimmer. My goodness. That was chaotic right there.
Right with the leader as well.
Yup.
I'd hate to be in a Discord with Nate after the race if he accidentally took out Rambler. Well, vice versa, I'd hate to be in a Discord with Rambler if he got taken out by somebody, whether it was on purpose or not. But look at those playoff drivers on the tower. Senzak in second, Torres in third. Then you have Thwaites, Vidal, Fox, and Irvin 5 through 8. Zimmer in 10th, and Kyle Miller, the only one out of tonight's race that's in the playoffs. But we're not going to have, unless something happens to that 8 car, catastrophic something happens, we're not going to have somebody lock themselves in tonight. We're going to go to the Irish Hills with it still being open season, Mike.
Yeah, we're going to have 4 spots on the line next week. We know one's going to get in there with a win, but the other 3, you're going to have to point your way in on the elimination race.
Well, you don't know that either. Mike, we could have somebody outside the playoffs, maybe even a Crim.
Ooh, that's true, yes. You're right. That's very true. I forgot about that. But we know for sure at least one spot's up there for a win, you know? One spot's open there for a win for a playoff driver. Michael Thwaites pounded the wall a little bit. Him and Vidal are battling there for 5th.
Side by side, going through the first couple turns. Ooh. And there's the pass. Thwaites moves up at P5. Vidal's not done. Vidal is 100% not done. Three laps to go. Scott Rambler hitting his marks around the racetrack. Looking for some sort of a close battle. This would be it. The 12 of Thwaites, the 26 of Vidal. Going through the last chicane on the racetrack. Ooh, that was close.
That was close. I was waiting for him to really smack that wall.
We saw it a bunch last night.
And Josh has got a big run here. It seemed like Josh is a little bit better under braking than Thwaites is, but Thwaites gets to run off these corners a lot better.
See, I'd say that...
Oh
boy. That Vidal is better on the inside portion of the racetrack, while the 12 is good through the NASCAR portions and the chicanes.
Now we are down to dual popsicle sticks in the air for Scott Rambler out front.
As Scott Rambler, looking for the win this evening, has led the majority of the race. I think he only gave up the lead for about 5 or so laps due to pit stops. With 2 to go, just needs to hit his marks. You're looking at just about 2.5 minutes of racing left when he crossed the line last time by. And he's got a 22.5-second lead over Bryce Senezak. And kudos to Senezak, Torres, Krim, Thwaites, your top 5. The whole field for staying out there, keeping it for the most part on the racetrack, and putting on one heck of a show.
And Scott comes around here onto the front straightaways as he enters NASCAR Turn 4. He's going to see that white flag sponsored by
the Wrestling with Nerd podcast. New episodes every Sunday night. As there it is, white flag in the air, kicks it out just a little bit. Coming out of the final chicane, hitting his marks. Just being consistent, and Vidal and Thwaites nose to tail into the backstretch chicane.
We're going to have to watch this because they're going to have a whole nother lap to decide this. Oh.
That's pretty close.
Ooh. White flag. They're going to have a whole lap to decide this. This is going to be the battle for fifth.
As while they're doing that, we're just going to real quick. Oh, I don't even want to. As Vidal's going to try to use that outside lane.
He's clear.
Looking for a crossover.
If you're going to do it real quick, do it.
There's the 8, Scott Ramler, coming into the final chicane for the final time. Ramler leads 45 of tonight's laps.
He's gonna... Oh, wow. Okay.
A little bit of cockiness, crossing the line, wins the race backwards.
And he's going to do the backwards Polish lap, tell you that much. That was some stylish move right there.
I mean, is it cockiness if you're that good? But wasn't expecting him to just kick it out.
But here we go. Vidal's going to have one last chance for P5.
This is it. He's going to have 2 chicanes.
Oh, he's sending it.
Right, he did. Both of them have a really good backstretch chicane.
This is going to be the big one right here.
I think he's a little too far away. Mike, I think he's a little too far away.
Oh, he's going to send it. He's going to try to get to that back bumper and... Oh!
Michael Thwaites is going to take P5 after a hard-charging Josh Vidal. Great battle, you two. Wow, Bryce Senezak came home in second. Joe Torres in third. Daniel Krim in fourth. Michael Thwaites in fifth. Josh Vidal in sixth. Seventh, it's Alan Fox. Not yet to cross the line. The 48 of Paul Irvin. Wait for it. Wait for it. Yeah, there he goes. Connor Coleman now. This is for P9. And Nader Orlowski having a little fun with Scott Ramler. There's the race results graphic for everybody watching at home. We're going to talk to our podium drivers. That's qualifying. That's the race. Right through the cones. Whips it around. Let's see. There's Joe Torres.
We got all three, so I can take third. I can take third. And you want to do the front two?
Sure, let's do it. Grab him.
All right, Joe Torres. It's Mike and AJ in the booth. You got us.
Yes, sir, I do.
Man, chaotic race for you tonight. Talk to me about your race overall. You had that penalty there at one point. You had to fight your way back from that. But you come out of here with the P3 finish on the podium. So just give me a rundown of everything tonight at the Roval.
First and foremost, I would like to apologize to Alan Fox and Joshua Vidal for getting into them. I don't know if they said the first one was netcode and the second one was totally my fault. I overcooked it in going into turn 3, and I didn't mean to try to hit him. I was trying to pass him for like 10 laps already, and I just got impatient and I overdrove it. So I'm not a dirty racer when it comes to racing these road courses. Of course, I'm not the best, of course, but I don't know. I think what I told you at the beginning, at the end of last year and this year, I think hell froze over and the Matrix has started. So here we are.
You meant to rattle their cage, right? That's what Dale Senior would say. Rattle the cage.
Well, I do have a 3 emblem on that car, so didn't mean to rattle. I just meant to rattle his cage a bit.
But talk to me about how the car felt overall on the Roval tonight with these Xfinity cars.
Woo! These Xfinity cars are loose. I expected the new Roval, to be quite honest with you, and then I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's the old Roval. So of course you were able to drive it in deep, and I mean deep into the bus stuff that I think you saw. I hope you saw some of the bounces that I had. I had one go completely up in the air, skyrocketing. I was like, oh my god, it was incredible. But the racing overall was pretty good. It's just car was slick the entire race. Even on new tires, it was slick. But you could tell after the tires started wearing that you started getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and it was just really hard to drive after that.
We did see a lot of drivers hop those turtles, especially in that backstretch chicane. It was pretty wild to see. But as we've kind of put the Roval into the back seat and we go forward next week to Michigan, the elimination race for the round of 8, talk to me about your chances there at Michigan and see if you can either win your way in or point your way in next week.
So I would say this was the race I was more worried about because of my road course history. I just didn't expect to qualify P3 and then race around the top 5 until I got the penalty, of course. And then I really got to thank my crew chief and my spotter for watching. They calmed me down because I was pretty frustrated after getting the penalty and all that good stuff. But after now seeing the replay, yeah, it was my fault on that. But I'm looking forward to Michigan, where we put away finally the road course stuff and all that good stuff, and now we can just race on ovals. And I feel good about Michigan, and I feel good if we make it to the championship 4 that we're going to be contenders at Texas and Dover.
Well, Joe, before we let you get out of here tonight to celebrate this P3 finish, are there any sponsors you'd like to plug?
Shout out first to my spotter and crew chief, Brandon and Cade. Those guys were the ones who calmed me down. Shout out to Sparta Esports for bringing a pretty decent car. I didn't expect it to be that fast. Gotta thank my teammates. Gotta thank JTI, of course, and then everyone on the car, Mobile One, Dubby, Nora, Team Conti, Bass Pro, all the sponsors on the car, Jimmy John's, of course, and then and for you guys and All Star 15 TV making pretty awesome broadcasts, of course, and shout out to RICMOTECH and the Xfinity series for putting on a great series.
Well, Joe, congratulations on the 3rd place finish tonight, and we will catch you next week at Michigan.
Yes, sir. I expect to see you guys there.
Have a good night, bud.
Same to you, bud.
That was Joe Torres finishing 3rd here tonight. Let's talk to our pole sitter and stage winner, the driver of the 09, Bryce Senezak, coming home 2nd here this evening. What's up, pal? How was the race? You did get the pole. You got the stage. Very good points day for you. But you finished 2nd. Now we head to Michigan. What do you got for us, pal?
Well, I mean, I had like probably 3 or 4 drivers tell me before the break, well, congrats on locking yourself in the final 4. You're gonna win this one. And, like, I didn't know Ramley was gonna show up, but I was still like hesitant. I was like, you never know what could happen in these. So like I'm not locked in until I'm locked in. And so whether or not I did win tonight or not, I'm going into Michigan with the same mindset of just trying to win as many playoff points as possible, because I want to go into the last round and just try and create a cushion points wise when the reset happens. So yeah, if we could win Michigan, or try and win the rest of the season, really, because this is the closest I've ever been to a championship in this particular series with this car, and I just really want to execute and get it done.
Well, you did yourself a heck of a job by putting yourself in a good position heading to Michigan next week. by finishing second, getting the pole and the stage. What are we expecting going to Michigan?
I'm not sure his setup or like how it's gonna drive. I put in nearly like I think roughly 100 laps, just working on like 20 lap runs, and so that's probably what I'm gonna do in my free time for the rest of the season, going to these tracks. So just put laps in at Michigan and get myself accustomed to the setup and try and be as consistent with lap times as I can.
All right, pal. Well, before we let you go and enjoy the second place finish, what do you got for sponsors that you might want to plug?
And of course, thanks for you guys, All Star 15, for the broadcast. Shout out everyone at 09 Racing. Shout out Celsius and Spoiler Diecast. Everyone at Extreme that puts this stuff together. Congrats on Scott for winning it. I knew. Yeah, he messed up that one time, and that really shocked me. So I was like, wow, this is like a second hope. But then he got me when I had a slow moment out of the bus stop. So I pitted, and I could have swore I had 4 tires checked, but I ended up on 2 and had to just ride it out like that. And thankfully, the balance wasn't as awful as I thought it was going to be. So we had a good like 16-second cushion over Joe, and he brought it down to 9. So used up the rest of the left sides there. But yeah, I think that's about it then.
All right, pal. Well, congrats on the second place finish. It's always fun to talk to you, and we'll see you at Michigan next week.
We'll see you guys.
Yeah, it's Bryce Senizak finishing second here this evening. It's time to talk to the man of the hour who put himself behind the 8 ball, drove up to the front, comes down pit road after the stage as we're about to go green, tops off on fuel, makes a run all the way back up towards the front, has a great battle with Bryce Senizak, and then says, we're done playing. Gaps the field by 30 seconds to second place. It's the one and only Scott Rambler.
Hello. How you guys doing, AJ?
What's going on, Alien?
Oh, I'm just thankful that my playbook for this track started to come back to me after like 30 laps.
Really? Your playbook? After 30 laps, you finished second in the stage. And really?
Yeah, wow. If I was a bit more confident, because I stayed out of qualifying because I didn't want to mess with these guys' points as far as where they would qualify and whatnot. They're going into the chase or already in the chase, and wanted to make sure I wasn't screwing with them on that end, so I knew I was putting myself behind the 8 ball. But yeah, it's been so long since I've run this configuration that it actually took me a while to find all of my braking points, my turn-in points, and just where the car was happy until like 2/3 of the race was already done.
So what about the Roval fit your driving style once you kind of really figured it out?
Just being incredibly patient. You can't try to force a move here. There's not really any super heavy braking zones that you can take advantage of. You just have to wait for somebody to make a mistake and capitalize on it, or you just need to outright be faster than them in whatever corner you're planning your pass on. And you just have to make no mistakes. I mean, you put one wheel wrong here, you're in the barrier in like, what, 90% of the track?
Yep. Yeah, and we saw you were, mortal for a couple turns where you would smack the wall or scare the crud out of me when Mike screamed that you spun to the inside, which those turtles are no joke coming out of the backstretch chicane, huh?
Yeah, those things are gone for a reason. this layout only lasted 1 year for a very good reason. Sending cars high enough to jump tire barriers and kill people is definitely not what NASCAR wants to do. So it doesn't surprise me this layout didn't last long, but I think if they had tested it in iRacing first, they would have realized that was going to be a problem.
All right, pal. Well, before we let you go and enjoy the win this evening, probably back up in another Discord watching car accident videos like we were beforehand. Sponsors, plug them, go.
Got to thank Jeff McConey and McConey Setup Shops. Been with them for probably 3-ish years now, sometime around the pandemic. But thanks to him for all the support. Thanks to you guys, AJ, Mike, all the guys at All Star 15 for broadcasting. Thanks to Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. I don't have my list in front of me, so forgive me. But thanks to Ed for putting everything on with the league. Thanks to our admins tonight, and thanks to anyone that came out to watch. It might have been a little bit more boring than you're usually used to on this channel due to it being a road course, but hey, I had some fun, so there's that.
I don't think it was really boring. There were plenty of battles throughout the whole racetrack, and it's not just the driver-to-driver battles, it's the driver-to-track battles as well that were also fun to watch. But thank you for coming and talking with us. We appreciate seeing you on the racetrack and watching some alien work. Now back to Area 51 with you.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
See you later, pal.
Yeah.
Mike, take us home, pal.
Boy, AJ, I was very interested to hear, too, what Bryce said in his post-race interview about he thought he had 4 tires checked, but he only took 2, so I could see why it was a little bit of sketchy there for Bryce in the second half after having that tire mishap. But it was a very entertaining race, that's for sure, especially for a road course. I'm excited. I was excited for it after everything that we saw, but I'm even more excited to get back to the oval and head back to Michigan next week for an elimination race.
Yeah, elimination races are very unique because they go one of a couple ways, where they're calm but aggressively calm, or aggressively chaos. And I don't know what we're going to get, because I know the truck race, it's going to be a full draft race with the updated trucks that we have. The Xfinity cars, I'm curious about, because I have nothing on that with these Xfinity cars in Michigan. So stay tuned next week. It's going to be a fun week of racing right here on the channel. Monday we do Rockingham with a car, and then Tuesday and Wednesday it's the trucks and Xfinity at Michigan. So glad to have you all here. Hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next broadcast, everybody.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.